Lab Addicts Music Group. Lab Addicts Music Group. Lab Addicts Music Group. Lab Addicts Music Group.
What's goody? What's goody? What's goody? It's Thursday, and we back with another roundtable. But before we get started, got to give thanks to the Most High for allowing us to see another day, see another sunrise, see another sunset, and love the people that we love. Also, got to give a special shout out to YWG. He probably won't be joining the show tonight. It's him and his wife Evie's anniversary. It's their second anniversary, I think. Yeah, it's their second anniversary. I don't think it's their third anniversary. I think it's their second. But it is YWG and his wife Evie's anniversary, and yeah, we want to give them a special shout out. Wish them happy anniversary and many, many more anniversaries in their union. Now, with that being said, shouts out to everybody watching on X. Shout out to everybody watching on Facebook. Shouts out to everybody watching on Instagram. And most definitely shouts out to everybody watching on YouTube. Maas family, MA family, and everybody that's in here with us tonight. Bud Fouls, what's going on? How you doing tonight, Bud Fouls? Got a poll tonight. And the poll tonight is, does body count matter? And it's yes, no, maybe, depends on who it is, or what is that? So that is tonight's poll. Hey, Camille, how you doing tonight? They had the seersucker party in the Q's had the seersucker party in Atlanta this past weekend. Yeah, and I'm putting my seersucker on today. So tonight's show, we're hopefully going to have a panel. I reached out to some people, and some people are going to be joining in a few minutes. And we're going to have a lively discussion tonight. And I know it's going to be lively just because of the topic. And tonight's topic is, does a woman's body count matter? Does a woman's body count matter? Yes, no, depends on who it is. Or, I mean, what is a body count? We're people, we're natural. Everybody has sex. But to the men out there that are watching, does body count matter? And if it does matter to you, why does it matter? Should it matter to every man? I mean, body count matters to me. And you know, there are going to be people that are going to say it's a double standard. Men have high body counts, but men that have high body counts are considered popular, or ladies' men, whatever the case. And women that have high body counts are easy, sluttish. There's other adjectives. And we'll probably get into a discussion of why there is a difference. I'm not going to say it's a double standard, but there is a different standard in regards to body count when it comes to men. And women have a different standard when it comes to body count. I would say, and I'm saying men are going to say that as well. You know, having a low body count as a woman can be a benefit. It can also be a benefit to a man. And when I was growing up, the notion was to not have sex until you get married. And I never understood that. And I guess I never understood that because I lost my virginity at such early age. And I'll also say that because of how I lost my virginity, that may be a reason that I have certain outlooks on things. But is a woman that has a high body count any less attractive than a woman that has a low body count? Some men will say that they would rather have a woman that has some type of sexual experience as opposed to a woman that has no sexual experience. Does sexual experience come with body count, or are some people just naturally inclined as a sexual person? What do you all think? How do you all view body count? And I have some videos that I'm going to show, TikTok and YouTube, that I'm not sure how you look at body count or if it even really matters to you. Some men will say that body count matters, but then these same men will have sex with prostitutes. Prostitutes have very high body counts. Porno stars. You hear about porno stars getting married, and men will say, how did this guy marry a woman with a very, very high body count? And then you'll have women that will say that's working, and working doesn't count against the body count, which is crazy in itself. But these are the things that we want to discuss tonight. You'll have men that will say, body count matters, but then they'll have sex with a prostitute, a pro. So that's why I said depends on who it is. And that can be both ways. You may not worry. A woman with, if a man is just out for a thrill, he may not worry about the body count. Whereas if a man is looking at this woman as a mate or his significant other, body count might matter. So, we can be talking about a relationship, or we can just be talking about, in general, does a woman's body count matter? I would say that men will say that a woman that they're looking to be with in terms of a relationship would want that woman to not have a high body count. And I watch The Chi, the TV show. And on The Chi, this season, there's a part that's being played by, I can't think of the rapper's name, but it's a rapper from Chicago. He's kind of underground. It'll come to him. But his character on The Chi, his love interest is a woman that basically has sex with a father and a son and possibly other men. And it's come up in a couple's conversations, and basically the man that is with the woman that's been with the father and the son and other men, they look at him like, you gonna marry her? And he's like, yeah, I love her. And he was like, and the guy was like, I already know about both of y'all being with her. He said, I already know about that. And they was like, it don't matter. And he said, nah, it doesn't matter. I love her. I want to be with her. So these two men that he is an acquaintance to, they were looking at him in amazement that he was really, really considering being with this woman on the count that she had previously been with a father and a son. And the father and the son looked at her as if she was promiscuous. And the man that wants to be with her, he's not even worried about her body count because he loves the person. What is What is considered a high body count? I think men would. What is considered a high body count? I would say that a woman that's over 30, if she's had sex with more than 10 men, I would say that's a high body count. If a woman has had sex with 10 men by the time she's 30, I mean, I would say that's a high body count. What would you say is a high body count for a woman, Camille? What is is more than if a woman is 30 years old and she's had sex with more than 10 men, is that a high body count? Would you say that's a high body count? I I got some videos we're gonna look at. This first video that I'm gonna pull up is it's kind of telling. It's kind of telling. But I would say that if a woman is 30 years old and she's having sex with more than 10 women, I would say that's a high body count. I would. It's not in the single digits anymore. It's over. Yeah, it's not in the single digits. But I'm gonna play something, and I want you all to tell me what you all think. Shout out to Zilla 214.
Sperm stays with them. Every man that ever nutted in them is a part of them. It's found in their DNA, it's found in their brain, it's found in their cells.
Why women's body count matters biologically. I'm a neuroscientist. Let me explain. Studies show that women absorb and retain the DNA of every man they've been with via sperm. This foreign DNA has been found in the brain, organs, and reproductive system, but nobody talks about the consequences. And that DNA isn't just stored, it's used in creating future children. A woman's past men leave a permanent biological imprint. Ever wonder why some kids resemble an ex more than their father? This is usually why. While the father provides most of the DNA, genetic material from past men is also used. And it's not just looks. Physical and mental disorders can be passed down as well. The more men a woman has been with, the higher the risk of negative mutations in her future children. So ladies, your past doesn't disappear. Every man leaves a mark on your body and your future children. And fellas, think twice before having a child with a woman who's been with too many men, because you won't be the only one shaping that child.
So you're not fully responsible for this retarded ass kid because it's mixed up with a whole lot of different body count.
Now, do we believe that? What's going on, my brother Guy? Do we believe that? I'm gonna put the link out for you guys. And Camille, if you want to join the panel, you can as well. Because Camille said 10, a woman having sex with 10 women by the time she's 30, Camille said that may be a little low. seeing that video that I just showed, where it says that the men that you've had sex with can leave a DNA pattern in you that stays with you that can also shape your children. What does that make you? What does that make you say when you think when you hear that? Does body count matter? Does body count matter? That video said that every man leaves a a DNA imprint in you throughout time. So if you've had sex with 10 men, and that's unprotected. That's unprotected. Oh, so guy, you said you don't believe that.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you.
No, I don't believe that.
You don't believe that every man that has sex with a woman leaves a DNA imprint in her?
No.
Okay.
I'm gonna tell you. I mean, it's that one little swimming sperm that they have a lifetime, and it's that one little sperm that swim and find that egg. That one little sperm comes from one person. That's why all that that's some bullshit. What they were saying in that video.
You don't believe that neuroscience that they say that is
No, man.
okay.
No, because it's that one little sperm that hits that one little egg, or maybe even two eggs. I don't know how they have twins, but it's that one sperm that hit that one egg. That one sperm is from a particular man. That's how that works. So all that other bullshit they was talking about, that shit don't even make sense.
Juggernaut TV said with unprotected sex, he said you will leave something in a woman, even if you don't impregnate her, you'll leave something in.
Oh, you leave something in them? Yeah, I believe that. But as far as
The DNA.
having the baby, creating a baby, it'll be from the whatever man sperm that hit that egg.
Okay,
That's how I'm looking at it.
I feel you on that. So
So
you, does body count matter?
as far as them getting that other DNA from other men, no, I don't believe all that.
Okay. Does body count matter to you, guy?
Yeah, yes, it matters.
Yes and no.
That's it. Yes.
Yes. And why does a woman's body count matter to you? Juggernaut, I put the link out. I'll click the link. Come on in, Jug.
Why does it matter to me? I mean, I'm old school. Man, I'm not naive to think that a woman has not had sex before they met me. But there's a threshold. Let me put it that way. That's going to make me feel a little uncomfortable. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of it depends on how old the female is. You know what I mean? So
if a woman has had 10 sex partners by the time she's 30 years old, is that high or is that low?
You said 10?
10.
Yeah, I think that's low.
That's low?
Yeah, you said 30, right?
30 years old.
I think 10 is, and they started having sex, when they're teenagers?
Yeah.
Which is what they do, right? You know what I mean?
Is okay, I'll put it like this. Is more than one sex partner a year? If a woman has sex with 5 dudes in 1 year, is that high?
To be honest, That is kind of high, but you got to realize when a female's a teenager, that's what they do. A lot of
Not
them do
all
that.
of them. Not all of
Not
them.
all of them, but a lot of them do. A lot of them they lie when they're real young. You think they mess with one boy, they lie. They some lying ass little girls.
If you met a woman that was 30 years old when she was a virgin, would you be would you be happy?
If I had a 30-year-old version, I don't know if I'd be happy. I wouldn't know what to think. I mean, I would have to go with the flow because
If you met a 30-year
that
old
is
virgin,
no,
she's not giving it up until she gets married.
yeah, yeah, and
Is that gonna
she,
stop? Is that gonna stop you from pursuing her?
no, no. If I look at the, I mean, I gotta look at the personality too. I gotta look at the personality. You know what I mean? So
Personality.
yeah, yeah, man. It's just she gotta be sexy. She gotta, know how to carry herself and all that. That's so uncommon that your first thought would be like, is something wrong with her? You know,
I don't.
you know what I
I
mean?
don't think. I don't think I would think that. I would be intrigued.
Yeah, intrigued. I guess I didn't word that right. I think intrigued is a better word. Um, but honestly, you're gonna have you'll wonder why.
But a woman that lets you meet a woman. She's 30 years old and she tell you she's a virgin. And I mean, you can look at that two ways. You can say, like you said, some people might look at her as something wrong with her, and then some people could look at her like she's serious.
Yeah, that's true. But see, you gotta I look so if I look at it from my lens, I've never seen that. Never.
I've never, and I'm saying that I've never met a woman that was 30 years old and was a virgin either.
Right. So it's not even in the realm of our life, how our life we've never seen it.
I have met a 25-year-old woman that was a virgin.
Oh yeah,
Now
yeah.
it's been some years, but
Yeah, me too. Something,
I think
around that age.
that's probably the oldest. 25 years old is probably the oldest woman that I've met that said she was a virgin.
And you gotta say she said she was a virgin.
I mean, if a woman tell you she's a virgin,
But you gotta believe her.
you don't have to believe her, but I don't see why a woman would lie and say she's a virgin at 25 if she's not a
Yeah. I met a lot of crazy women in my life, and they just say any shit. They say anything. You know, you know. Yeah.
virgin. So 10 before 30 isn't a lot, but 5 in 1 year is a lot.
No, no, no. I would say I'll look at.
That's a different. That's having sex with a different man every 2 months.
I think it's a lot, me personally, but I'll look at. I have to look at how old they are. I mean, teenage girls. That's what they do. And
Teenage
then
boys. That's what teenage boys. But yeah, we're not talking about boys' body counts. We're talking about teenage. But I wouldn't say that teenage girls are having sex like teenage boys. I don't even. It may not even. It may be on their minds, but I don't know if it encompasses their mental like when boys hit puberty.
it does. Don't let them lie to you. I was I was a teenager.
A lot of women
I was
have
a teenager
a lot
before.
of women have their first period, they be scared. When a man have his first wet dream, he'd be like, oh,
I was a teenager before.
yeah, oh yeah.
So, and I think even these days it's more so that females are having sex at younger ages. So even back when I was young, this was back in the 80s. They was doing it. You better believe that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't really getting that much. You know what I'm saying? When I was a teenager, I'm gonna be honest with you, right?
I'm be honest,
I was a late bloomer,
I had
but
sex early, but I wasn't having a lot of sex.
right, but a lot of women, a lot of them little girls was having sex, man.
Oh yeah, yeah. I would say that a lot of kids was having sex in high school.
That's what
A
I'm
lot.
saying. So, I mean, I had a friend, right? And he was, I don't mean, he was my boy. He lived around my way, right? And girls thought he was cute, right? And I'm just looking at him, knocking them all down. I'm watching him. That's my boy. You know what I'm saying? Ever since he was 14, he was knocking them down because they loved him because he was a pretty boy. He was killing them. I had friends that was getting it. I played on the basketball team. All the basketball players was hitting all everybody in the school. That's how I know.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, I was on the basketball team, the football team, and yeah,
These
I wasn't.
boys
Yeah,
be out here. So when you when
and
I
I
see
wasn't. And I
when
wasn't
you
no
say
bench warmer.
five, what I'm saying is when they're teenagers and you say 5 in 1 year, that's nothing. That's what I'm telling you. That's what I'm. It's hard to say like when they're 15 because they don't know nothing. So when they're 15, 16, you know,
I will say this. I will say this. If a chick starts out young having sex with a lot of men, she's gonna continue having sex with a lot of men. And yeah, then it's gonna be yeah. I mean, you met them. Yeah, you met them chicks, man. That yeah. Come on,
yeah,
man.
but see the thing is some of them do it when they're 15, 16. Yeah, they do what you're saying. They keep on doing it.
What I'm saying
But
is,
a
what I'm
lot
saying
of
is,
them,
I went to high school, and there was a girl in the city that people knew she was getting smashed to the point where she just said F it and went and became a porno star.
yeah, you got the freaks. We used to call them freaks, right?
And what I'm saying is, but you know, there could be other extenuating factors in that as well.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, definitely. But a lot of the females that have sex a lot when they're young, have like boyfriends, and then they get their feelings hurt. Some of them kind of grow up kind of fast. You know what I'm saying? A lot of them don't end up having a whole lot of sex.
What I'm saying is, everybody did. It was girls when you was in high school. And they was like, man, everybody smashed up.
That's why I said that's
And
what I'm
those, what
saying.
I'm saying, what I'm saying is, when you heard that, and when you heard that you didn't want to make her your girlfriend.
Exactly.
So
Right.
body count, it even matters at a young age.
It does.
So you'll have women, like you said, you'll have young girls that are having sex. And what I'm saying is, you get that label. When you get that, but there's always one guy. There's always one guy. But you, even if a body count matters, because even high school, college, yeah, you would
It
hear
does.
about women that have high body counts, and those weren't the women that you were trying to wife.
No.
So I think the body count, it matters,
Oh yeah, it matters to me.
no matter what age.
Yes, it does. Right.
So 5 in a year. I mean, I guess everybody's gonna have a different an opinion. Everybody's gonna have a different standard because everybody's standards aren't going to be the same.
And the thing is, you might meet a girl and you'll never know. That's what ends up happening. You meet a girl that was probably a freak, but you don't know her because she wasn't from this area, or you know she didn't grow up around you, and you won't never know. And it could be you know happily ever
That
after,
can happen. That can happen.
right?
And some men will marry women with high body counts, and it don't matter. Like I said, some men, they're. I mean, we see dudes that marry porno stars.
But me personally, if I
I could.
know,
I couldn't do that.
me neither.
And yeah, Juggernaut just said it. He said you'll never get the. I've never asked her. And the thing about that is, I've never asked a woman her body count, but you can tell a woman with a high body count. You ever been out with a chick and every dude in the place come up and speak?
Yeah.
Yeah. The girl that every dude knows. I mean, yeah, some stuff is unsaid and you just, yeah, as a man, you just figure it out. Some people overlook it. Like I
Does
said,
me.
different situations are going, yeah. When a man goes to when a man goes to Vegas and he's in Vegas and what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, I don't think a man is too much worried about the body
I mean, but that's relatively a new terminology, really,
count.
because
Body count.
when we were younger, we didn't think about that. We didn't say what's your body count. You know what I mean? That
We
whole
didn't say body
terminology.
count. We didn't say
Is,
body count, but we said she's a freak.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, 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 definitely. But we ain't never really put a number on it. I mean, we didn't think of it.
Yeah,
This is internet shit we're talking about right now, because it came up on the internet before. But I'm thinking back when I was younger. Yeah, she's a freak because I know she's a freak because I knew a couple dudes did some freaky shit. Well, you know what I mean? But it was never, if I met a new girl from a new high school, I didn't think in my mind, I was trying to see if she had some freaky behavior, but uh, of course I was looking out for that. But I wasn't really trying to say how many people did she sleep with.
right. Would you
You-
rather have a
you-
woman that's experienced or a woman that's not experienced?
I'll say not experienced. I'll teach you. Shit. I mean, if you want an ideal situation, shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
But like Juggernaut said, you'll never know the true number. So we're talking about body count, but will you really know your Your
No,
other
I
man,
won't.
your woman, your your wife, will you really actually know her body count? I don't. Yeah, women don't. Women don't. Yeah, some information. Women will do something you'll never know it.
Right.
Women will do things and you'll never know it because they don't. Yeah. Women are sneaky. Women are sneaky.
Oh shit.
I mean, we see that right now with what's going on with C. Weber. C. Weber and what's the other dude play for the basketball team? Doug Christie. And Doug Christie, if you remember, Doug Christie's wife was real controlling. He couldn't,
Yeah,
he
I
couldn't go
remember that.
nowhere. She had all the she had all the passwords. She had everything to his, and she was smashing Chris Webber.
Mm.
And they said that Chris Webber is allegedly Chris Webber is the father of their child.
Man.
So
He ain't know that.
he didn't know that.
I mean, he's dark skinned.
Hey man, it's wild stuff going. I mean, you never know.
I mean, that niggas dead wrong, man. They play on the same fucking team. How the fuck? I mean, damn, you get all the pussy in the world. Why are you still gonna fuck your teammates' pussy? All the pussy that you get,
I, hey man,
you
they
still
said,
gonna fuck your teammates' girl. That's
then
you
they
just
said that
dead wrong,
they
man.
said that he was coming around like he was coming around under the guise of being cool with Doug Christie, but he was just coming around to see because he knew that was his child. Man, this allegedly, because
Man, that nigga,
I don't know Chris Webber's legal people hitting me up allegedly,
that's some
but yeah,
trifling ass shit. Dang,
and
you
the
know
thing
that
about that is whatever happens in the dark will eventually come to the light.
it always does, man. It always come to light.
Always.
Basketball players get all the pussy in the world. They get it thrown at them, but
Yeah, man.
you'll still find a way to fuck your teammate's wife.
Hey, man.
That is
They
crazy.
said that. They said that the. They said that basketball players have guys at the games that if they see a chick in the stands, that they'll have somebody go and be like such and such one will holler at you at the game. And these women could be sitting with another dude. Hey, Camille, how you doing?
Good. How are you?
Great, great. So you know what we're talking about tonight. We're talking about does a woman's body count matter? And I said 10 before a woman was 30. And you said that number was kind of low. So yeah, I'm gonna sit back and listen to you because we're on here talking about women's body counts and things of that nature, and you're gonna give us a woman's perspective on a woman's body count.
I mean, honestly, I don't think body count matters. I really don't. But the 10 before 30 is kind of low. I'm just,
Okay,
just my perspective. Um, a, a lot of girls are having sex starting at 14, 15 years old, and I think it just depends on like what type of relationships that you're having. If you're just having random sex, then 10 before 30 is a little low. If you're in a relationship, then I mean, definitely you shouldn't be, just out sleeping around. And what was the other? You said, um, what'd you say, 5 in a year, 10 in a year?
5 in a year.
5 in a year is a lot, I think. But I don't think that I could see maybe 15 before 30. After that would be, I'd consider that pretty high.
So that's about 3 sexual partners a year.
I mean, when you really break down the numbers, yeah, that could seem high. But
3 in a year.
yeah, when you really break it down, you're doing numbers now. We, I think women, I think they go through phases. That's just what I believe.
I agree.
They go through phases, and if they break up they'll be in a relationship, and they'll be uh, monogamous, or what's the word? They'll be faithful.
But
And when they break up, then I could see her. You know what I mean? It depends. I think it depends. And they break up, then she may go on a roll for a
hot
little
girl
while.
summer.
Yeah, that type, especially young people. That's what happens.
Right. I think it just
So
depends on age and like where you are mentally and what you're looking for.
Okay. What's a lot? Okay, after a woman comes of age, and you're out of the teenage years, and you're 21 years old. How many sex? How many sexual partners is okay? Since we said that 10 or 15 is kind of low for a 30-year-old woman, what is high? What's a high number of sex partners?
Over 20.
Over 20.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
I'm
that's
still I'm gonna stick to 10. 10 before 30 is 10, more than 10 before 30. That's a lot of sex partners.
oh, you. That's what you think?
I mean, I'm looking at it like one sex partner a year. That's the way I'm looking at it. One
I
sex.
mean, but that's high school, that's college. I mean,
I don't know about that,
a
man.
lot can change. A lot changes during that period of time.
Right.
Yeah, yeah.
I mean, you see, you're just doing the numbers. I'm thinking more like when they're teenagers, they may have a couple months where they're out there. That type stuff happens, man. They just be out there. Um, so
Sugar I
that's
said the music today from female artists is telling women that it's good to have sex as you please.
yeah, that whole music stuff. Yeah,
I think
I think music is influential, but
okay.
um,
So okay.
I
So
never murdered anybody. I could just
no,
put it that way.
yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So I believe it or not, I was influenced by the music, but there's layers to that. There's levels to that. So um, because a lot of that shit was fantasy because we wanted what they had and we wanted what we saw on TV, but
Okay.
in reality, we couldn't really get it.
Okay. The
So
average number of sexual partners a woman has had by the age of 30 is generally around 7 to 10 partners.
I don't believe that.
A survey found that 39.6% of U.S. women reported having 7.5 partners on average. Another source indicates that 47% of women reported having between 2 and 10 sex partners by the time they were 30.
where'd you find that? What's the source?
Hold on. The source is MSN. New data. Here's how many sexual partners most
Mm,
Americans have had. MS.
I don't know about that one, brother.
I don't trust that.
Me neither. I ain't buying that one, man.
Okay, I'm gonna go to the National Institute of Health.
Okay, let's go there.
How many black women did they interview?
They don't break that down. I didn't break it down that much.
Let's put just look up just women, and then we could break it down by you know demographic.
Okay.
So I'm just
Using
curious.
data from 2006 to 2010 on the National Survey of Family Growth found that the lifetime number of vaginal sex partners is positive.
Man, I'm about to pull out chat GPT on their ass, man.
Yeah, that's what I'm about to do.
Is
Okay,
that
D
what you want?
Payne. D Payne, what's going on, brother? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. He said it don't matter. As long as I can be one of them bodies, to be honest, if it's a no, okay, T Pain, okay, Chief.
uh, see, I say it depends on the
Chat
individual too.
GPT.
If I'm old school, so that's how I think. We don't want no free.
Chat GPT.
I guess we want to be lied to.
How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. How about you?
I'm good.
What's on your mind today?
Can you tell me what is the average number of sex partners an African American woman in the United States has by the time she's 30 years old?
I'm here to provide helpful and respectful information. If you have any other questions or need assistance with a different topic, feel free to ask.
She ain't gonna tell me that, y'all.
Of course. What would you like to talk about?
Nothing. Score. Score. We're glad you made it back. We're glad you made it back from Florida. How was the trip? D Payne. So D Payne said. D Payne said body count don't matter to him. As long as he's the current one, that's what matters to him.
I think D Payne's a young guy. Straight up.
Camille,
Yes.
we didn't put women on the spot today. So what? How many sex partners is a okay? Since what is promiscuous? What would be seen as promiscuous? And that's man or and when I'm saying that, I'm not differentiating men or women. I'm asking you this too. What are we considering promiscuous?
I would say females just doing strangers. Like,
No, I'm saying in terms of numbers. What is promiscuous?
that goes into the numbers, right? So promiscuous is not just numbers.
No, I agree
It's
with him.
it's like
So you're saying
you just
it's a life. It's how they are living.
right.
Right.
It's like you just doing any strangers that you just don't even know. And then promiscuous could be having a couple, get a train ran on
So
you.
promiscuous isn't a number. Promiscuous
No,
is
I
number.
think it's
is a
based on
life. You said it's
character.
a lifestyle.
Yeah, lifestyle, character.
But what I'm saying is a person
Number is part of it.
can a person be promiscuous and just have one sex partner?
No.
So
Number,
what I'm saying is there has to be a number associated with it.
no, a number is associated with it. It is, but
Okay, what would be promiscuous in a year? The number, what's the Now, what would be promiscuous in a month? What would be what would be? No, I'm not gonna say a month. What would be promiscuous in a year?
I think we need to look up that terminology.
Um,
I think
I'm
we,
gonna
I think we're all over the place.
I'm gonna say 10 in a year.
10 in a year is promiscuous. Jug says some people are sex addicts, but you can be a sex addict with one person.
Yeah.
Nah, so I think it's nah. I don't think a sex addict could be with one person. I mean, maybe.
You could be a sex addict with just one partner.
Yeah,
So 10 in 1 year is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot.
That's a whole lot.
Scorp said 10. D-Pain said that's a lot of slipping and slack. Yeah, 10 in a year. Yeah, that's
A lot of bodies, a lot of spirits. Ugh.
a lot of
Mm-mm.
bodies. So we'll say that more than 5 in a year is promiscuous. I mean, more than two. More than I mean, is more than two people in a year promiscuous? Nah,
No.
it's more than 5 promiscuous. You getting there, but maybe not.
Yeah, I think so. But I just think that it's based off of like where you are in your life too. We didn't all had hot girl summers and whatever y'all call y'all's thing. I mean, that's happened.
Men don't. Yeah,
I mean, y'all have had times where
put the D on the track. Put the D on the track.
um
I'm joking. I'm joking. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Hit the like button. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Camille. I didn't mean to cut you off.
no, I was done.
So D Payne said, "No, one person gets boring. You need that excitement of the thrill of the chase. Then you with them for a minute and get hold. It's only gets up. It only gets up for new. Oh my God. Yeah, D Payne, you wild. D Payne, you wild. You wild. So, so we're having this conversation about body count, but it seems as if to a lot of people in the chat and Camille and Guy, the body count doesn't really matter. It depends on the person. Is that what I mean?
it depends on the person whether it matters.
Depends on yeah.
Like
I think
I can only speak for myself. You know,
yeah.
that should matter to me. That's it.
But how would you really know? What if
I
a
won't.
person is
I won't know, but I I'm old enough to where I could.
The spidey senses.
Yeah, I sometimes I might get fooled, but there are some that I could tell she's a freak. I mean, that's just it. I don't know my accuracy. I think I'm pretty accurate. Um,
Camille, can you tell if a
but
man is a freak?
yeah.
but you still don't know the body count though. You could say, well, yeah, she's. I know she's a freak, but so you're guessing, assuming body count.
So you basing it kind of like off of what you hear from other people?
Well, that could be
Okay.
part of it, but if it's somebody that she could be out. I mean, you might not have never.
Juggernaut said it don't matter to him unless the thing is wore out, big, and too loose.
Yeah. Right.
But see, we just had a show about that, and wow. I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, I guess it can be. I guess it can be wore out. Oh no. I mean, I guess it can.
You don't think you can?
I don't know.
Hmm.
If a woman's can be wore out, then a man's can be wore out. Is it a finite number of orgasms that a man has, and then productivity and performance goes down? I mean,
No, what I mean by worn out, man, that thing
is there such thing?
man.
It's okay. That's what I
You
was
know,
waiting.
you know a
That's what
worn
I
out.
was.
You know a worn out pussy when you get it, man. That
Okay,
shit
I was
ain't
waiting
right.
for somebody to say that. I was waiting. D-Pain said, "Don't expect him to eat off the plate. If your body count got all of it's hot. Yeah, says if you got a high body count, don't expect him to eat off the plate." Jug said a man can bust until he's dust. Okay, okay. Hey, some men can, some men can't. But like everybody has said, you will never really know a person's body count because I mean, are they going to be honest with you? If a woman knows she had sex with 70 dudes, is she gonna be honest and I had sex with 70 dudes? And then are you gonna look at her any differently after she tells you she had sex with 70 different men?
Yeah, I'm gonna look at it different. Shit. Hell yeah. I'm like, bitch, you a freak.
So you
Now I'm gonna
would
have to
look at
start carrying
so
that
you would
carrying
look at
that
a woman
sex.
differently. You would look at a woman differently if she said I've had sex with 70 men in my life.
You asking me that? Or
Yeah, I'm asking.
Yes, I would. I would. Even if we've been in a relationship for 5 years and she told me that, guy, I got something to tell you. Before I met you, I fucked 70 dudes. Yeah, that'll be a problem for me. I'd be like, bitch, you're a freak. I don't respect you anymore. We
What?
could be friends and I'm still gonna hit it with a rubber on. I'll never kiss you again. And you can suck this dick. That's it. I
Guy, you
mean,
a wild guy, man.
come on, man. You ain't just gonna put that shit on me lying all this time. You a freak in the past and shit.
See, Laura
70
Wise said
dudes.
that's a whole.
No, man.
I knew Laura Wise was going to have something smart to say about being
I don't care if we
about
married, we're
ED.
gonna have a problem.
There's a whole medical sector dedicated to reviving dusty joints. It goes both ways. And Laura Wise, I knew it. Why would a woman tell on herself? That's rule number 3. Never tell on yourself. This is crazy. You can never, you can, a man can never really truly know a woman's body count.
But see, I guess when you think about that logically, if she'll never say it, then I guess it doesn't matter. Then, right?
But
If
like you
if
said,
you
a
think
man
about
knows.
it logically, right?
Think about it logically.
If they never tell you, you never know, then why would it matter?
I guess in that sense of things, it doesn't matter. I still think that it matters.
No, I was
Even though
thinking,
you may not have the correct number, I think you can know. You'll know.
Yeah. It matters to me. I'm thinking of an equation that has to be true. 1 plus 1 does equal 2. It just like if they never tell you, you never know, then logically it doesn't matter, right? When you really look at it. But um, oh, y'all still on that subject? Vaginal reju. I know I've had females. You could tell the slipperiness. Yeah, when they've been promiscuous, too promiscuous. That shit you could tell. Or when they had a baby that didn't have a C-section, this is a difference. That shit get fucked up. That booty gets a little. It don't be right. But anyway, uh, but it does matter to me. It does matter to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
We figured out that, I mean, a man will never know. Because a woman is not going to be honest about her body count. Let's just be 100% correct in saying that a woman is never going to, if a man asks, but I would never ask a woman her body count. It's not my thing. I wouldn't ask a woman her body count, but I know who I'm a holler at.
Okay, there it is right there.
But I know who I'm going. But it matters because
No. You said it right there. If you never ask, then it doesn't matter.
What I'm saying is I'm not going to ask, but I can tell a promiscuous woman.
No, but that's
How can
it.
you tell?
You said it right there. If you're not going to ask, then it don't matter. That's it.
I mean, it does matter. It does matter. But, I mean, I just think, I don't know. If you have to ask a woman her body count, then her body count's high. If you have to ask a woman her body count, then you think her body count is high. That's the only reason you ask.
That type of question, when you really think about it, you ask that when you first meet her. Like it's like that ain't one that you got to know her, you're on your third date. That type of question is better to ask when you just meet her, where you don't give a fuck whether she.
I think if you asked a woman her body count in the beginning, she probably not gonna deal with you.
Right, but it doesn't matter because that's when you ask her.
Squirt Mama said you should not ask.
I wouldn't ask. That's not part of it. I don't ask that question, but if I do ask it, it's going to be way in the beginning. Hey, girl, you probably got a big body count, don't you?
So you were saying in a joking type of fashion.
In the very beginning.
Would you take offense to that, Camille?
Absolutely. Because I feel like that if you feel like you have to know that, then or have to ask that, then why are you even interested in the first place? If you feel like that I'm that type of person and that my body count is high, then
no, why are you assuming that? See, a hit dog a holler, right? Why? I mean, Dad, I'm just asking a question. I mean, why would that? If it's low,
I mean, that's just not, yeah, but that's
proud.
not really, that's not something you should ask somebody just out the gate like that. I've never had anybody ask me that.
Can I ask? Okay.
Be honest, I've never asked that question. I'm just throwing it out there. If I'm meeting a girl and I'm starting to like her in the third, fourth date, I wouldn't ask her, right? I'm just thinking if I on the very first date, I could care less if I walk out the door or not at this moment. That'll be the best time to ask. If she take it personal or not. Then if she take it personal, then bye. I'll leave you sitting right there. Right there. Bye. You mad at me? We ain't getting along. See ya.
Okay, I'll say this.
You know
I'll
what
say
I'm
this.
saying?
I wouldn't ask a woman that, but I've had women ask me, "Are you bi? Or are you gay?" And I took offense to it. But I thought about it, and in today's age, it made me mad at first, but then I was like, yeah, it shouldn't make you mad. No, I'm not gay, but damn, why you asking me that? So, is that a question that I think? I mean, I think that's the same type of question as the body count question. I think it just depends. Some people are going to take offense to it, and some people aren't going to take offense to it.
You're right. That's it.
But I think, but in saying that, all women are going to take offense if you ask them, "What's your body count?" I don't think there's a woman that if you
No,
ask that, I just think that
no. I don't believe that because
every woman in here said that. Hold on, let me get.
they probably all got high body counts. That's why.
Hold on, guy. Lord Wise said, "I would not deal with someone who asked me that because that makes me feel like the man is wayward and very concerned about his ego, no matter how he asks."
I don't even understand that comment. I'm trying to get information. I mean, what does that have to do with my ego? Well, I kind of see what she's saying.
Camille,
Because
how would that make you feel if a man asked you, "What's your body
I'd be like, it's none of your business.
count?" A woman's not gonna. Yeah, the only thing you can get is angst if you ask a woman about her body count. There's
I'd be
nothing.
like, what's your
There's
body
no
count?
good. There's no good that can come from asking a woman, "What's your body count?" You setting yourself up for failure.
I've never done it. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah,
guys.
I ain't never done that.
I'm just bringing up a
And I done
whole.
done some wild stuff, but I ain't never done that.
I never asked a girl what her body count is. This is new shit. This is new internet shit, right? And
I don't think it's new.
no, come on, Aaron. There ain't nobody do this shit in the 80s, 90s. Hey, what's your body count? No,
No,
we ain't doing all that bullshit.
what I'm saying is no, but
We ain't do this shit. We did not do it.
I mean,
This
I
is new
understand
shit.
we
This
didn't
is
do it.
2020
We
red
didn't do
pill.
it. We didn't
This
do
is
that. We didn't do that, but we said, "Oh
red
man,
pill shit.
we said, oh, she's a freak." We
Yeah,
did.
but
Oh,
that's
she's a
different.
hoe. We
That's
did do
different.
that. So now we didn't say body count, but we said she's a hoe. She's a freak.
This is the whole red pill talk shit. Body count. What's your body count? And all that shit.
I don't think it's red pill talk. I think it's real. I think it's a serious conversation.
I
But
think some. I think some females won't care, and some will, because
some you think, well, I mean, I don't think that every woman would take offense if you asked them that. I don't think that, but I would say that there are more women that are going to take offense than there are that are going to answer that question.
yeah, I could see that.
Because we have four women that they really they barking in the background. They big up in Camille. Saying, okay, so does body count matter? 62% say yes, 25% say no, 12% say maybe. Depends on who it is.
What's your body count, Camille?
Don't do it. Don't do that shit.
Lord Watson, thank you for talking about reality, Camille.
Ah, I thought I'd throw it out there since we're talking about it. I was trying to make you mad.
D-Pain said if the body count ain't none of his business, then his money ain't none of her business.
You remember when May said that on the rap? Girl, I was just trying to make you mad.
What y'all say? What the lady said about that? He said, if you can't answer about the body count, then don't ask him about his money.
Ooh.
What?
Ooh.
He said,
Oh,
if
who
you
said
ain't
that?
happy about the body count, then his money ain't none of your business.
Boom, deep pain. God damn. Ooh, how you do that there?
Oh, hey.
Oh,
Darkstar
got
said
him.
yesterday when we brought up the topic, Darkstar said that body count matters, and Darkstar is a woman that loves women, and she said that body count matters.
Man, they got diseases out there. They
And
got
then,
done
and
and
then
that shit does matter.
Scorp said none of your mofo business what her body count is.
Yeah, that's because she got a high body count. That's why.
Oh man.
I'm just playing.
He
I'm
said
just
men
playing,
can
girl.
have a body count with our women. So the only number that actually matters is a woman's. Jug said saying what she is differently than directly at. Yeah, it is. It is. But I'm not gonna ask me personally. I'm gonna go off tendencies. I'm gonna watch stuff. I'm a people watcher. So I'm going to know if she got a high body count or not. Because I have a discerning eye. Scorp says she love men. The count is real. Okay. Darkstar said adults should be selective. I think everybody should. I think I'm very selective in terms of who I give my time to. Very, very selective. High body count does matter, but the thing is you're never gonna know what a woman's body count is. So a lot of men are going off of assumptions. And some men say, I'm not worried about them assumptions. I love the woman. Say what you want to say. What you want to say. And the reason I brought this up and another reason that I was thinking about this topic is because of, like I told y'all, I watched The Shy. And The Shy, this is a topic that's on The Shy right now. Is you have a character who's with someone and she's had sex with multiple men on the show. Three men on the show that she had sex with. And basically the two men that had sex with her body count mattered to them. They had already had sex with her. And the body count mattered to them. And the man who wanted to marry her, who hadn't had sex with her, who hasn't had sex with her, the body count doesn't matter to him. So what's why is that? Why is it that the man that hasn't had sex with her, is it because he wants to have sex with her? And does the body count matter to the men that have already had sex with her? The fact that they've already had sex with her. What do y'all think? Camille? And I ask you that because I know you watched The Shy.
Um, yeah, I know exactly you talking about Lala with the she been with the father and the son.
And do
Um
and Doodle.
and the new dude.
But her and the new dude haven't had sex yet.
Oh, okay.
But and that's three men, and the two men that already had sex with us like, and you really want to be with her? And he's like, yeah, I love her.
I mean, he feels how he feels about her regardless. It's not gonna change his mind.
So does the body count matter to the man that's already had the woman? And the body count doesn't matter to the man that hasn't had the woman.
I don't think that it should matter to the men that she's been with. I mean, she's been with them, so why would they care?
They cared about it more than the one guy.
Yeah, I know. Um,
Laura said mind over matter. If you don't mind, it don't matter. Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know.
Scorp said she was married, so it don't matter. Her Scorp said her body count low. She was married.
Me too. For a long time.
I
Yeah,
think
I'm not gonna add. Yeah.
I think people just
So
want
I'm pretty sure that after a woman has been married for a long time, that she's gonna have a hot girl summer. She's gonna go to Jamaica. She's gonna get her booty rubbed on. It's just things that a woman's gonna do because she's been in a relationship, and a man will do the same. If you've been in a relationship for 20 years and you're single now, I mean, you've been with one person for 20 years. If you've been faithful, so you may have some fun, and I don't really see anything wrong. I don't necessarily see anything wrong with that. Now,
to.
if you out here having sex with 20, you know, 10 men a month, then yeah, that's an issue.
Yeah.
That's a problem. That's a problem.
They
I
in
think if a
Jamaica.
man is out here having sex with 10 different women a month, that's a problem.
That's a sex addict.
It's a sex addict.
They be the women be in Jamaica looking for Dexter St. John.
Yeah, that's where the women go.
Not me.
Go down there and get rubbed on, get a Jamaican man. And you know, and they say the same thing about men who go to the Dominican Republic. But I go to the Dominican Republic and I'm not looking for no pros. I can most definitely 100% say that. I've been to the Dominican Republic plenty of times, and I'm not going down there looking for no pros. There's regular women down there too. When you go, everybody when you go to these. I mean, and I guess women can say the same thing about that when they go to Jamaica, you know. But I mean, but hey, I just think that, like Camille said, people have different, different times in their lives. Like you said, she was married for a long time. When you have been in a relationship for a long time, you're gonna come out, you're gonna test the waters, you're gonna have some fun. A lot of people do that when they get out of a relationship, let alone a marriage. So I think that body count matters when it matters, and it don't when it don't.
Yeah, I think people want to be oblivious to it.
Yeah, no man. I mean, yeah, I mean,
We just don't want to know.
yeah.
We really don't want to know. That's
Nobody
why we.
wants to
That's
know.
why we don't ask.
Nobody wants to. I think no one wants to know, but you also don't want to be with someone that's. I mean, been with 100 people.
Of course, man. But we just want to know. We just have an assumption. At that point, we have an assumption. We make an assumption. But
I think when it comes to body count, there's a lot of assuming going on. And then there's going to be a lot of assuming going on because, like we said, no woman's going to truly tell you. I mean, they might.
I mean, we could start it on this show. I think it could be okay to ask the body count. We could start it on this show. We could start it with Camille.
No, we
Okay,
can't.
I think Camille, Laura
it's
White,
just a question.
Dark Star. I'm going to ask
No.
Dark Star. Dark Star, Dark Star, would you be offended if a man asked you your body count? Well, I mean, if a woman asked you your body count. No disrespect, Dark Star. You come on, you already know Dark Star. Dark Star, would you be offended if a woman asked you your body count?
Mind over matter. Is that what she said? That's what.
Dark Star said, doesn't high body count make you think there's a higher probability of cheating?
That's a girl. That's a good question. That girl's smart. That girl is smart.
Dark Star said she wouldn't be offended.
I mean, you say, do you like apples? Just look at it as a question. Have you ate a Twinkie before? What's your body count? It's
I'm
just a
about to put a,
question.
I'm about to put a polarizing person up who says that there's trauma with body count. Is
I
there
think
trauma with body count?
I think the young people do it because like when I'm on YouTube, they ask the young people do that shit. They ask the question. They ask that same question, and they don't care.
Wait, hold on. Okay, hold on. Your presupposition is that you, that woman, can go out between the ages of 21 and 30 and go find something of value that she's going to bring to that man. I've already answered this question many times. What are you going to go gain in experience out there on the open marketplace outside of increasing your trauma and body count? Thank you.
So so is that a woman that's dating for purpose? Is that a woman that's dating for purpose? Because like you
Mm-mm.
said, the only thing a woman can find on the open market is body count. Everybody got quiet. Don't nobody like help saying. Okay, Dark Star says she was married for 18 years since she was 25. Laura Wise said she don't keep count. If a man is bold enough to ask, I'm going to say, I don't know, the line moves quickly. Wow. Dang, Laura Wise. Laura Wise ain't holding no punches. I think we might have lost God. No, we didn't. Oh, Scorp said Kevin James is a damn fool. Okay. Well, why is it right? Hey, come on now. Come on now. Body count. Does a man okay, you know what? Let's make a transition. Does a man's body count matter to ladies? Camille?
I think so. I don't want a man that I've heard that has been with multiple women, and that's just like what he's known for.
So
But I
that
mean,
multiple women you know.
um, yeah.
And I don't mean and when I say no, that they don't have to be friends or like acquaintances, like in passing.
I mean, though, at this right now, at this age, I don't, it's not something that we sit around and talk about. I mean, I could see, back in the day, yeah, 20, 30 years ago, okay, cool. We said, so and so was with him or he was with her and all that. But I mean, at this point,
As you get older, you just want happiness.
right.
Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. I'm still here, y'all. I don't think a man's body count matters to women. I think that women want a man with high body count. That's just my opinion. That women don't really care about a man's body count because women want to be pleased. So they would rather have a man that's experienced in giving pleasure as opposed to a guy that has a low body count and don't know his way around a woman's body.
I don't think that's necessarily true.
It's kind of true.
I mean, if you have don't if you're a man with a low, you had 5 partners. That don't mean you don't know what you're doing.
I mean, I don't think that you can learn everything how to please a woman in 6 women because every woman's different. I think that what I'm saying is they've made movies making fun of men that are 40-year-old virgins. They make what I'm saying is they make they make movies, they make comedies about men that are virgins, men that don't have sexual prowess. They make fun of those, but they end up always getting a good woman. But does a woman want a man that has a low body count? Like I said, it's different. Men don't want a woman with a high body count, but I think that women want a man that not necessarily has a high body count, but is experienced in pleasing a woman. Because when you look at 40-year-old virgin and movies like that, but where men that they don't really get a lot of women, yeah, you look at it and it's like it takes a special type of woman to be with a dude that's like that. Or the woman really isn't a sexual woman. Sex is gonna be important. Am I seeing it wrong, Camille? To the ladies in the chat, am I seeing it wrong? Do you all want a man with a low body count? Does a woman want to teach a man how to please her? Or do you want a man that has some sort of experience in pleasing a woman?
Um, I don't necessarily want a man that has a really high body count though. I mean, and like you said, women are different. So you would need to learn what I like, not versus what everybody else that you've been with likes. So I mean, no, I don't want a man that's got a really high body count.
Could a 40-year-old virgin be the person for you?
No. Mm-mm.
So women want a man with some experience.
Right.
Maybe not a whole lot of high body count, but I've told women I don't think women look at body count. I think women look at how many children you have, how many babies. Because I tell women that I'm only have one child, and they like, you only got one? Yeah, I only got one. I wasn't out here spreading my DNA. I've had women look at me funny when I tell them I only have one child.
I've never looked at a man based off of how many kids he has as to whether I want to be with him or have sex with him. Never.
But what I'm saying is I have told women that I only have one child, and I get funny looks like, you only got one? Like, and I'm like, how many I'm supposed to have? It's a weird question, but yeah. I've had women, yeah,
Mm.
like, oh, you only got one. Why is that? Like, it's something weird that a man that's 50 years old only has one child. I don't really see nothing weird about it myself. I see that as self-control. How many children you have, guy?
None.
Have you had women that have, like, why you don't have no children?
Mm,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I did. Man, you tell a woman you
I think. I think. I'm telling you. I mean. I made. I think that shit was karma for me. because when I was younger, and I had some girlfriends, and I made them have abortions and stuff like
Oh,
that. You know what I mean? Or I recommended that, and I think it came back on me, man. That's just me, and I'm being real personal right now, right? Um, I had a couple girlfriends that I got pregnant, and I hurt their feelings, because a couple wanted to keep her. It was
wasn't
kind
ready
of
for it.
complicated, but
Yeah.
yeah, I had to have that conversation with him. Look, I'm not ready. I ain't ready. You ain't ready.
Yeah.
I'll
Yeah.
pay for it.
Do you, at your age, do you want to have children?
Who right now?
Yeah.
Mm,
You have to be married.
no, I wouldn't even have to be married.
You wouldn't necessarily have to be
I
married to
thought
have a
about
child.
that. Huh?
You wouldn't necessarily have to be married to have a child.
No, because I'm right now. I'm financially able to support a child. If I have to take them myself, you know, I could do that. You see what I'm saying?
That's what's
So,
up.
um,
Ladies, y'all heard guy.
I
I'm
mean, that's some real shit.
no, I'm
But I
no,
would,
I feel you. Because I'll be honest, in the right situation, I would probably have a child soon. In the
yeah.
right situation, but it had to be perfect. It had to, and I don't know if it's a perfect situation out there. It had to be perfect. But yeah, women. I don't think women care as much about body count as men do. I don't. And we can. There's people that we can look at on YouTube as examples of women don't care about body count. If they see a man as attractive, they don't care. Yeah. Does a man having a lot of babies by different women? Does it? I mean, is that a is it doesn't seem. I'm asking I'm asking the ladies in the chat, and Camille's the only lady up here. So, and if I don't mean to be putting her on the spot, but the ladies in the chat as well. Does a man having lots of children, is that a deterrent? Because it doesn't seem that it is to a lot of women. It
It
seems
is for
like
me.
it seems like the men that have multiple babies by multiple women are the men that women are seeking. Camille, do you believe that 80% of the babies are made by 20% of the men?
Say it again.
Do you believe that 80% of the babies are conceived by 20% of the men? Because there's
Wow.
men out there. I know it's probably hard to believe, but there are men out here who cannot get a woman.
Hmm.
That's why dudes go to other countries to mail order wives. And I'm not saying going. Mail orders is yeah. Yeah. They got cruises to take these men that can't get a wife to places where they can get a wife. Dark Star said men with a lot of babies is a big deterrent.
I agree with her.
See, Dark Star said she would have to be married to have a child. It's about foundation. Laura Wise says she wants a man who doesn't say the word, who says body count. What the? Okay, Laura Wise.
When I first heard that stat, what you said, 20% of the men.
20% of the men create 80% of the babies.
That is something that's so new to me when I first heard that, right?
I've always,
Because
I've always heard that.
I've never heard that till that guy you just, what's his name again?
Who?
You showed the video.
Kevin Samuels?
Kevin Samuels said it. Because the reason why it never dawned on me is, I'm only going by my life experience. I got all my friends with me. We all getting pussy. We all booking multiple females. You know what I'm saying? So I never thought of that. I never. So when he said that, I was like, you know what? Maybe he's right. You know what I mean? Because I never saw it because of my life experience.
Never saw. Yeah,
I never thought of it. I never seen 20 because all my friends, we was getting females.
yeah,
So I guess we were part of the 20%. Birds of a feather flock together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if a lot of niggas ain't, a lot of part of my friends, but a lot of dudes ain't getting no pussy, I probably, we ain't hang together, right? So
Yeah,
I don't know. You understand what I'm saying? So
yeah.
I never thought about it, and I never looked
I
at
never
that.
thought about it because I never had a problem getting women.
Right. That's what. That's.
So I never thought about this 20 to 80 because I've never had an issue getting it.
But he's probably right.
Yeah, I'm yeah. 20%
I mean,
of
you
the
could
men,
tweak the numbers a
20%
little
of
bit.
the men make 80% of the babies. That's a fact.
Right. You could tweak the numbers a little bit, but it's
That's a
around
fact.
that.
That's a fact. There are more men with multiple babies than there are men with one baby.
Yeah.
There are more men with multiple babies than there are men that don't have children. I mean, yeah. 20%, yeah, that's crazy. It's crazy when you think about it. But the women choose who they have babies with, and the men choose who they marry.
Hmm.
Yeah. Women choose who they have babies with, and men choose who they marry. Jug said it's important to know what you want, fun or family. I think you can have fun and have a family with the right woman. But like we've been talking about body counting now. We're coming up on an hour and 45 minutes. Hit the like button, hit the like button, and hit the like button again. And share the video and subscribe to the page. We've been talking about body count, and really what we've come to conclusion is that men don't ask women about their body count. Women aren't truthful about their body count. So does body count really matter? I think it really matters who the person is, because we see women in Hollywood and women who mess with sports figures, and these women have two babies by two other athletes, and another athlete will come behind them and make them have another baby with their woman. So body count, I don't think it really doesn't really matter. I don't think body count really matters to men. If men want to be with a woman, then they're gonna be with her. Whether she's a porno star, a freak, oh, she's had sex with over 100 men. I don't think that matters. I think what matters is how that man feels about that woman. Now,
I guess it matters if you know.
your average man is not gonna want a woman with a high body count, but there's somebody out there for everybody.
It matters if we know. That's just
And
it.
the only people we know that have high body counts that we actually know are porno stars.
Right.
It's because it's right there in your face. But other than that, how do you? I mean,
I think that's why I'm trying to say we got to make that a question that's okay to ask. I'm back on
well,
that trip again.
Camille, Dark Star, Laura Wise,
Laura just
Scorp.
left.
Will it ever be a good time? Will it ever be a time where it will be cool for a man to ask you, what is your body
I'll ask another question.
count? Camille, I'm gonna
What
let
if,
you answer that. Will it ever be a time that that's a good question to ask a woman?
what if you've already fell in love with the man already, and then he asked you?
I mean, if it was that important, yeah, I would probably tell him. But it wouldn't be a situation where you could ask me that when you have first met me. That's just me. But I mean,
Yeah, I
yeah,
think if a dude asks a woman that in the beginning, I think you.
it's kind of insensitive. But if I'm with somebody and he wants to know, I'll tell him.
You're not gonna give him the real number though.
Yeah, I would. I was married for 14 years, so I mean,
Your
yeah,
body count low. Okay, Queen Kima says she'll answer that question when he put the ring on it.
absolutely, Queen. That's it. Yes, Queen Kima.
Hold on, let me.
Man, we ain't gonna want to know if we're ready to put a ring on it. But we'll never ask that damn question.
So basically, what you saying, guy, is
We'll never ask it.
if you can't ask that question in the beginning, there's no reason to ask it when you about to put the ring on.
If I'm putting a ring on it, I don't want to know. That's why I'm putting a ring on it. Shit, I'm in love. I'm sprung. I'm putting a
Right,
ring on the
right.
finger, and I
Juggernaut
probably
said,
I ain't gonna do nothing to mess it up.
Jug says it makes no sense to answer that question after y'all been smashing. Yeah, it's too late.
It's done with.
And then if you ask that question before y'all start smashing, you probably not gonna smash. From the way that Camille
Yeah,
and
right.
and Queen Kima and Laura Wise and Dark Star and
But you
Scorp
won't.
have answered that
You
question.
can't miss something you never had, though. You see what I'm saying? I was only throwing
Hey,
that out
you
there
think
as an
about it. You
hold on,
can't
hold on. I was only throwing that out there as an experiment.
as an experiment.
It's just like I said, I never did it before. I never asked that question before.
That question might get you smacked. That's what I mean. That might get you smacked. We about to get a different perspective. Dark Star has joined the panel.
I think younger people do that shit.
Younger
They
people
ask
do
that
that.
question.
I don't even think younger people ask that question.
Yes, they do. I watch YouTube.
Okay.
I watch YouTube, and they do. That's what they do.
Hey, Dark Star, how you doing tonight?
I'm doing okay.
Oh, Dark Star. See, there goes Dark Star. She got that Boost Mobile. She got that Boost Mobile internet. It booted her. She'll be back. But Queen Kima says so again. Don't ask me until you trying to put a ring on it. Otherwise, it's none of your business. Yeah, that might. Yeah, that question. That's a bold question to ask a woman in the
No,
beginning of a relationship.
Juggernaut said it right. We after that time, after if it's at that point, we don't care no more.
Yeah, yeah. If you ask a woman, I don't see. Like you said, guy. If a man asks you that question, he wants to answer, and if you don't give him the answer and you walk away, I don't think a man that asks you that is worried about you walking away. Judge said, if you want the ring, you gonna lie.
Right. That's what I'm saying.
Oh no, they gonna lie. Oh man, if they want
Right.
the
I
ring,
mean,
they gonna lie.
it's a mute point if you trying to marry this girl, it's a mute point. It's that whole
Yeah,
body count shit is out the window. We ain't thinking about that shit no more.
yeah. The thing, and then based off what Camille said, there, a man ain't gonna ask in the end. Like he said, if a man doesn't ask you that before in the very beginning of the relationship, he's not gonna ask. And then, like Camille said, if a man asks a woman that, he probably ain't going. That's probably gonna be the last time that they communicate. Is that safe to say, Camille?
That's true.
Laura Wise,
I think she's gone.
Scorp, Dark Star. Okay, you back, Dark Star. Go ahead. We're gonna let you talk, Dark Star. Well,
Matter to some people.
what's that? Okay, now we got you. We got you.
Okay. I think body count matters to some people and to others it don't. And to try to break down between male and female is a little bit difficult. I think that men don't necessarily care about body count until they're ready to settle down and have children. I think a woman looks at it as if you're a man and you've got all these kids around by, 4 or 5 different women, I think when it comes to her wanting a family and to settle down, I think that matters. You know, sometimes people are selective and some people aren't.
I think everybody's selective to somebody's. Yeah, some people are less scrupulous in their selection, and some people are more astute in their selection.
And some people don't care. I was recently asked the question, especially being a little bit older, would I date someone who was a late in life lesbian? She had been with men and maybe she has children and this, that, and the other. And it's like, yeah, that's kind of difficult to say. That depends on the individual. And for me personally, it depends on body count. If you just were, you were married, you were with the same person, you had, a couple of kids, yada, yada. And even that, there's always going to be in the back of my mind, your inexperience being in the so-called quote unquote life, as opposed to being the straight life.
Can I ask you a question, Dark Star?
Go right ahead, sir.
Have you ever been in a relationship with someone that wasn't a lesbian before you met them?
Yes, I was engaged twice.
And these were women that prior to you, they were straight?
No, I'm talking about I was straight before I was gay. I was actually engaged twice.
Oh,
And
when you say
it
engaged,
wasn't
when you say engaged, I'm thinking you're talking about women. So yeah, okay.
no, I was engaged to 2 different men before well, what we used to call coming into the gay life.
So
And
what brought about the change?
what brought about the change is because I was doing it for the wrong reasons. I wasn't doing it for me and to make myself happy and who I wanted to be with. I was only doing it to satisfy my Catholic upbringing and to satisfy my family.
Okay.
So it was like when you know, my father had very strict ideas. A woman is not supposed to leave the home until she's married. He had very old-fashioned ideas. And when I moved out, when I was 23 years of age, I mean, I went to college and I came back home and I couldn't take it anymore. I was doing things for the wrong reason. I was setting myself up for failure and I moved out. And when I told my father, Dad, hey, I moved out. I'm not living with mom anymore. And he was thoroughly understanding. And I was very shocked, surprised, but proud at the same time because he felt that he trusted me enough to be able to make my own decisions in life.
Okay.
And I dated a few women. In fact, the day that I told him that I was gay was in a gay bar, and the bartender was my girlfriend. you know
How you do a
And
monkey
he
wrench
was
like that at your dad? How you do your dad like at Dark Star?
well. The thing is, the bar was empty. It was just him and I in the bar, and I told him I was gay, and he just sat there and he didn't say a word. And I was waiting for him to be upset. And so I asked him, "Well, Pop, you're not saying anything." He says, "Well, I'm waiting for you to change." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And he's like, "No, you told me, so when are you going to change? To me, you are always going to be my daughter. You will always be my baby. And no matter who you love, no matter who you be with in this world, I am still your father. And you will always be my little girl."
Bing, bing.
And and that gave me such pride that he had confidence in me.
Jug said he bet your father got another drink.
No, I want another. Hey, let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I bought my dad a drink and I pulled out a cigar and gave it to him. Okay, because my father used to smoke pipe. I was like, "Here you go, Pop. I'll light this for you, buddy." It's just because my dad was really a cool dude. He was very laid back. That pipe smoker that had very few words. He was a man of very few words, but it was words of wisdom. You know what I mean? And for a black woman to grow up, and my parents had separated, and my mother remarried and everything else, and I still had my father in my life. I had my stepdad, and I had all of my brothers and cousins and stuff of that nature. So it wasn't as if I didn't have positive male role models in my life, as well as the positive female role models that I had in my sisters and my aunts. Um, it was a choice that that felt comfortable for me and felt right for me. So when it came to relationships, because I had seen certain men in my family cheat on their wives, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I never wanted to be that person. So like I put in the chat, I believe in serial monogamy. If I'm with you, I'm not cheating on you. If I need to cheat on you, then I don't need to be with you. I need to find somebody else. I need to leave the relationship. And I need to be honest with myself, and I need to be honest with you about it as well, because there's some breakdown in communication or something that's happening in a relationship that makes me feel I need to go on the outside. And I've
Okay.
been that way since the time I was very young. And then, I dated a few women and everything else. Not all of them I had sex with. And then when I met my girlfriend when I was 24, we dated for an entire year before we consummated that relationship, so to speak. And then um, we moved in together. And then we were together for 18 years.
So from a lesbian perspective, how does body count come into the equation?
You have a lot of gay women that do have a high body count. And I'm not asking you that off the front of the bat. I'm wanting to know you as an individual and your mindset and where your heart is, because let's be honest about the gay community. Okay, you have a lot of broken people in the gay community. A lot of them have been through sexual abuse and stuff as a child, and physical abuse and things of that nature. So
Would you
you
say that
have to
there's a
deal.
lot of promiscuity?
There is a lot of promiscuity within the gay community, and it's gay men,
I mean, yeah,
mainly gay men.
we
And
know
I'm
that.
not saying that lesbians aren't a part of it too, but lesbians have a tendency when you meet someone, you want to stick with that person.
Yeah, I've never, I'm having these conversations I'm having with you is like the first. Lesbians don't come across as I'm gonna go to the club, I'm gonna meet somebody, we're gonna have a one night stand. It doesn't seem like a one night stand type of.
Yeah, hookup culture isn't necessarily a big part of the lesbian part of the community. Um, that's that's more, unfortunately, gay male. In fact, I am going to be doing a small video about the trans community. Hopefully, it won't be any more than like 3 or 4 minutes, and how
So,
that fits into it.
so is
But at
that
the same time,
is that why body count is important to you
It's important to me.
because you know that the lifestyle is kind of a promiscuous
Yeah,
lifestyle.
yeah. I mean, and then it's my own personal beliefs. You have to realize that I grew up as Catholic. So my feelings about things and about relationships and about family might be a little bit different than a lot of people within the gay community. Not to say that there aren't a lot of gay Catholics out there, but for me, it was a point of this is what I want for my life. You know, I went directly from high school to college, and I wanted to have a career where my older sisters, they left from high school and got married, started a family. You know, I had one sister who was
Got you.
very jealous of me, and
Like,
I overheard our conversation.
I ain't trying to cut you off, but
No, no, no,
I'm not trying to cut your story off, but we won't stay on topic tonight. We won't stay up. We don't want to go way off on the. We don't
no,
want to
no,
go way
no. I
out.
get you.
Yeah, so well, let's. I got you. I got you, but you like me. You long winded, so sometimes I gotta go. Yeah, I
I,
got punch you.
I got
I
you.
got knock the wind
Um,
out you. I got punch you in the gut. Knock the wind out your stomach. I'm joking.
no,
I'm joking.
I mean,
Okay, I got a question. So
body
we
count.
got a question. We got a question for you. Jug says, "Do you consider a lesbian and a stud the same? I would think studs would want multiple females."
A lesbian is a
And that's the
lesbian,
question for
period.
you, Darstar.
A lesbian is a lesbian, whether you're, you know, a lipstick lesbian or you consider yourself quote unquote a stud. I think we all want the same thing. We just want a relationship. And that's whether you're gay or straight.
Wow. Queen Kima said it didn't go so well for her cousin. She was forced out of town once she announced her lifestyle. Sorry about that, Queen.
That's tough. I mean, I had to go through conversion therapy because I was
Ooh.
Catholic. And I mentioned my feelings about other women to somebody, and it got back to a nun within my church. And they swept my behind up and put me in conversion therapy, and I had never had a relationship with another woman. That's how brutal it can be.
Hey. So, we've talked about body count from all angles. Men's body count, women's body count, and even body count from a lesbian perspective tonight. And the overall theme and everything is trust. Really, it comes down to the person that you want to be with. And if you love a person, body count doesn't really matter. Because, like we've said, you're never going to get someone's true body count anyway. A woman is not going to, and we've asked, is there a proper time to ask a woman about her body count? And women said no. There is never a proper time to ask a woman about her body count. So, all you older guys out there watching these young guys on YouTube, ask these women their body count. Older women ain't going for that.
There's a lot
Guy,
of
you have any?
circumstances.
Yeah,
There's a
guy,
lot
you
of
got any last
circumstances.
thoughts on a woman's body count and how it correlates? Is a woman's body count even a correlation to if a relationship is going to be productive and long?
I think somebody brought it up. I think it was what's your name? The one that was it's
Long life.
indicative. It's indicative of whether that person will be faithful or not. Who said that? Somebody brought that up.
No, that was Dark Star that said that.
Yeah, Dark Starter said that. I think that's true. I mean, that's a spidey sense. That's a. But to me, are you ask To me, it matters, but then again, I won't ask the question. I've never asked that question. Um,
You know, maybe she
so
put that life behind her too.
Right. People
Yeah,
grow.
you're right. And you know what? We didn't discuss that aspect of it where a person can sometimes change a person how a person acts.
The things
Yeah,
that I've done as a child are different than the things that I do as an adult,
Yeah, yeah.
right.
you
that's
know?
true.
And
Okay, go ahead.
being promiscuous is something that you do and you learn and you develop as an adult. And then you make the decision like, hey, I don't want to be a part of that anymore. I don't want to be a part of that life anymore. I want to, I want to settle down. I want to have a life. And, you know, and I made that decision when I was 25 years old. Not many people at 25 make that decision and stick with it.
You see, men.
Um,
I'm gonna tell you how men think, right? And we probably shouldn't think this, to be honest. Now that I'm older, but young men, we used to think like this: once a freak, always a freak. Honestly, that's how a lot of men think, whether it's wrong or right. Am I right or wrong, Aaron?
Okay, okay.
Well,
Camille, go ahead. No, go ahead, Jack. Go ahead, guy.
did you hear what I said?
Yeah, I thought you was done, but go ahead.
I
My,
mean, this is how we. This is how a lot of men used to think. Once a freak, always a freak.
oh yeah. I
That's
mean,
how. Whether it be right or wrong, and um,
just like
and I
some men,
think
some
that's
women say, once a womanizer, always a womanizer.
so.
I mean, it goes both ways. But yeah, yeah. Men do say if she, yeah, men do say that, and I agree with you on that.
But
I agree.
that's a young man's thinking though,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
it's just what you guys just said. People could change, and because I look at myself, I've changed a lot from how I was when I was a young dude, right? So if I can see that in myself, then I can see it in other people. You see what I'm saying? So when you said, yeah, I might have been a little promiscuous when I was young, but I got older and I wasn't, I was more reserved and more not promiscuous, right? So I understand that because, you know, I believe people could change
Okay,
because I've done it myself, right?
okay. So yeah, okay.
So
Camille,
Yes.
what is your final say on this conversation that we've had tonight? And I appreciate you. It's the first time Camille's been on the panel. I appreciate. Didn't nobody get on camera tonight. I had to be the only one on camera, so we'll let that go, Camille. But what's your final thoughts on body count and if it matters and if a man should ever ask you about your body count?
So, final thoughts: body counts do not matter. People make changes, people grow. Um, as you get older, you want love, you want relationships, regardless of how many people that have been with in the past. Um, that's it.
Okay, okay. Oh, you know what, Camille? I almost forgot.
What?
Camille, I'm gonna set it up and then I'm gonna let you finish it. Camille has a TikTok page, and she has a reading club, and she reads books on her TikTok page. She's almost at 10,000 subs, and when you get to 10,000 subs, you become monetized on TikTok. She's trying to get monetized, So I'm gonna let her tell y'all the link to get to her TikTok page, so y'all can add her up so she can get to 10,000 subscribers and she become monetized on TikTok.
Okay. My TikTok name is, hold on, make sure I get it right. It is Shamona, SHAMONA 913.
Add Shimona up. Add Camille up
Why
on
don't you put it in the
TikTok.
chat? Why don't you put it in the chat?
Okay,
Yeah, put it in the chat so we can so we can
gotcha.
help her get to 10,000 subs and she can get monetized.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, put your TikTok link in the chat so even the people that watch this video on the repeat can get that information too. So yeah, Camille has a large following on. Yeah, she already Go check her page out. Book club, ladies. I know y'all like to read. That's y'all's thing. Getting together and reading about books and talking about what the book meant to you, and going over the premise of the book and what you thought about it. Go over there and check out Camille.
Sorry, made a mistake.
Yeah, not the private chat, in the regular chat.
Okay, let me figure it out.
But yeah, while she's doing that, you know what? I'm gonna let her finish, and then we're gonna go
Go
to Dark Star, and then I'm gonna give my final thoughts, and tell y'all know what tomorrow is. Tomorrow's Friday, so I gotta give you the spiel on tomorrow. So Dark Star, I appreciate you joining the chat. You always come with very, very good information, very informative, and you always give us a different perspective to look at. I appreciate it. Everybody appreciates it. But what is your final thoughts on the importance of body count?
Well,
Or if it's important.
I agree with Camille. I mean, I think you grow and your perspective of life changes. And maybe as you get older, you don't want to be a part of that high body count life and you want to be a part of family and being with someone that you love, you know? Um, I mean, that's the way I kind of look at it. Um, I also grew up in an era of HIV. The
You
80s and
still
90s was,
still in
and,
that
and
era.
it's worse now. And it's worse now.
Still in that era. It's worse.
And so that was always something that scared me. Sexually transmitted diseases is always something that scared me.
It still scares me. Yeah.
So I'm not going to be putting myself out there and risking my life. I'm not going to do it.
No, never had nothing, and most definitely
No,
don't want to.
don't want it. Don't want it. Trust me.
So believe me, you're not the only one that's scared about venereal diseases. It's a real thing out here, and the fastest growing population of people with STDs is people that are over 40. So
Well, not
something to
only
look.
over 40, but between the ages of 18 and 25 Black women.
Yeah.
And that's a Department of Health and Human Services number.
Yep. And yeah, I did a show on it. A lot of women talk about what is it, bacterial vaginosis.
Yeah.
That is now considered an STD.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just a pH. Your pH is off balance. No, it's something that if they tell you that the man has to get treated for that too. So it's real.
I'm almost looking for your medical records when I date you. Okay. If
Hey,
I'm gonna date you, give me your medical records and we can talk.
yeah, that's what I did. Yeah, you better. Hey, y'all better start asking people's my charts.
Hey, did you ever do a show on that, Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Long
that'd be
time
good.
ago. I need to do another show on my chart. Yeah, because I was talking about my charts and people was like, "What is a my chart?" If you don't know what a my chart is, you gotta have your my chart. I may have to do another show about that because I may have to do a show about the AIDS epidemic because it's crazy.
Very
STDs are out of
crazy.
control.
The,
I
the
remember
very
when.
first the very first term paper I ever did was in 1984 on AIDS. The first
Right,
clinical trials in the United States wasn't done until 1988.
right.
So
I
yeah,
remember. I remember. I was a teenager around that time, and that was some wild shit right there.
you
That
was
was
in
scary.
you was in DC, so yeah, you was.
Oh yeah, that shit was some man. That was some scary. Man, I used rubbers. I never back in them days.
Doubling up.
We all used rubbers, man.
You better.
I,
In fact, I used to be in we had like this little mobile kind of thing where, like kind of like Meals on Wheels. And we used to distribute condoms at the gay bars at night.
it was no question
Yep.
back in them days, man.
Yeah, I might have to do a show on the STD epidemic that's going on.
Yeah, that whole my chart thing too, because I never heard of the my chart thing because I think the next person I get in a relationship with, yeah, we're gonna have to we're gonna have to hit the doctor and get that little against the my chart thing.
Look at the
Because like
STDs in the senior citizen homes.
Oh
Look
my
that up.
God, it's really out of control in the senior citizen homes. They are the senior citizens are the fastest growing group of people of contracting STDs. So I'm gonna have to do a show on that. I want to thank everybody. I want to thank all the panel that joined tonight. My guy, my guy, don't go nowhere. My guy, my homegirl Camille. Camille, you got all. Oh, hold on. Hey, let me look at that picture. Camille looking out good on the picture. So yeah, Camille, appreciate you joining the panel tonight and adding your input. It's greatly appreciated. You added a lot of value to tonight's topic, and I appreciate you. And Dark Star. Dark Star is she's one of the favorite people in the MA family. She always got something really, really good to say. Go check out Dark Star's page. Subscribe to her page. I can't. Guy doesn't have a YouTube page, and Camille doesn't have a YouTube page. Camille is on TikTok. But yeah, go check out Dark Star's page. Add her up and check out her commentary. I just want to thank everybody for coming through tonight. We talked about body count. You can talk about these things, but unless you actually talk to a person
Love
about what they
Addicts
have
Music
going on
Group.
in terms of their sexual life, you're not going to get an answer, and you may not get a straight answer. So basically, trust and love the person that you get. Body count, you really don't. You're never going to get the answer that you think. And if you do get the answer that you want as a man when you ask a woman about her body count, it may crush you. So if you love somebody, I don't think your body count matters. Leave unturned stones, unturned. Love the person that you love. It's your boy Maas. We'll be back tomorrow night with the sex show. The sex show. Tomorrow night at 11 p.m.